Anthony Hartwig here with a St. John volleyball player profile. I'm joined by junior outside hitter Gabby Johnston. Gabby, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You got it. I always love the transition from sophomore to junior year because you go from being an underclassman and you have a lot of leaders on the team, and then all of a sudden you're a junior and you're expected of a little bit more, and the leadership responsibilities go up a little bit more. You're not a senior yet, but you're still asked to do a bit more than you were last year as far as leadership of the team goes. How have you been handling that transition into being an upperclassman?
It's been good. It's definitely a challenge, but I don't think it's that bad to handle because it's a transition that everyone needs to go through, whether they think they have to or not. And I think it's good.
Now, you might not have been an upperclassman last year, but you were definitely a leader of this team, especially statistically. You put a lot of effort into going out there and being the best player you can be. Talk about what it's been like to step on the varsity floor and make such an immediate impact like you have.
It was definitely nerve-wracking, especially because I transferred to St. John my freshman year, so it was a new school, new people. But I think I handled it pretty well, and it was a great group of girls to step into a new court with, and they definitely welcomed me in.
Let's talk about that freshman season. You come in, you transfer into St. John, like you said, new school, and volleyball is right at the start of the school year, so you don't have a lot of time to
Right.
mesh with the student body or get comfortable before volleyball starts. What was that like, especially the first couple games of your freshman season, to be in a completely new environment for St. John?
It was definitely really nerve-wracking. I mean, I knew some of the players previously playing club with them, so that was easier to transition to, I guess. But the atmosphere of St. John's, like a lot of people go, it's a small school, so that was definitely really nerve-wracking. But it was a good experience and it was really fun.
And we go into this year now. You guys have one loss in the season. You're starting off really hot so far. What has been working so well for this actually be the St. John team?
Well, three of us played club together last season, so that chemistry is just really good. But we're really young. We only have two seniors. One's out, unfortunately, for injury. So we're just a young team. We're trying to get the communication all well with everyone, but I think we're doing pretty well so far with it. So
You're our first St. John interview of the season, and really our first St. John volleyball interview ever, with them being a new YSN member school this year. Take us inside the locker room. What's the personality of this team like? What kind of things make this Herald's volleyball team unique from others?
it's really a great group of girls. I mean, we all get hyped for each other, and it's easy to communicate with everyone. We all know each other. We're with each other 5 days a week, whether it's games, practice. So it's just really easy to know your team's there for you and to be there for your team. So our communication's really well so far.
You keep talking about team chemistry, and it has to be big. I mean, like you said, you spend so much time with each other during the volleyball season. You better like each other. What are some things off the court that this St. John team does to build team chemistry and to build a very, very tight bond that you have?
Well, we do a bunch of team dinners before away games and stuff, and we're all usually there, all hanging out after school, doing schoolwork together. So, and then again, a lot of the girls play JO together, some of us, and some of us are younger, obviously. But that just builds good chemistry because for JO, you're with each other for half a year playing volleyball. So it just brings us all back together during school.
All right, you say a lot of team dinners. What's the best team dinner? Like, what's the one that really gets you excited for a game?
I don't know. We get pasta a lot, and it's really good.
Pasta will do it. And then I also love that you guys work on schoolwork together. So that makes me ask the question, any player on the team, who is the most tutorish or the most that helps other people with their schoolwork, the most scholastic you think on the team?
I'm gonna have to go with the Ducro sisters, Mary Kate and Lizzie Ducro. They definitely are the ones around helping everyone.
What do you think is one subject that if you're struggling in, they would always be like the best help to go to in?
Math, for sure, 100% math.
Now, are you someone that struggles with math a lot, or are you getting math down pretty okay?
Um, Sometimes it's okay, but yeah, math is definitely my weaker subject for sure.
What's your favorite subject in school?
Probably English. I like English a lot.
Usually it's one or the other. Like if people don't like
Right.
math, they're gonna really like English, and the other way
Yeah.
around. Let's talk about your personal goals that you set for yourself this year. We talked about the responsibility and leadership that you have taken on this year. What were some other personal goals you set before the season started that you wanted to accomplish before the season ended?
Definitely hit 1,000 digs is my goal. I'm pretty close right now for junior season, so that's definitely my main goal. But it's to also help the younger girls on our team that are underclassmen on varsity build their confidence up
I
for
love
sure.
that digs is your main goal because a lot of people look at your stats and they see the kills and you're getting a lot of them, and you'll probably get to 1,000 kills at some point in your career too. But you want 1,000 digs. How much pride do you take in your defense and your ability to be a full rotation player and to be just as much of an asset to your team in the back row than you are in the front row?
I take defense really importantly because passing is like the most important skill for volleyball, in my opinion, and it's very crucial. And honestly, even though being an outside hitter, everyone loves hitting, and I do, but I definitely like defense a lot more than hitting. I don't know why. I just always like playing defense more.
All right, that tees up the question. What's the best feeling in volleyball? Is it a big dig in a game, or is it that big kill where your team needs momentum? Which one gives you more juice?
Definitely that dig, because I mean, putting down a hit feels great, and knowing that your team needed it, or whether it was just a good kill or not, it's a great feeling. But getting a dig, especially if someone has a really good hit that should have been a kill and you dig it, I just feel like it gives you so much more like energy, and especially for your team.
You spend a lot of time playing volleyball, obviously club in the off season. What does that do for you as a player to be able to expose yourself to so many good athletes, whether you're playing with them or against them, off the high school floor?
It definitely builds up your confidence during school season because, especially playing like at a higher club level, you see a lot of amazing volleyball players, like some that have college offers already as juniors, and it just definitely builds chemistry, especially if you play with girls from school. But it just definitely makes you more prepared and never really gives you a break because it's all year round.
Those club weekends can be a lot of volleyball. A lot
Yeah.
of volleyball in one weekend. You gotta love it to put yourself through that. What do you love so much about the sport, and what keeps you driven to keep going?
I like club a lot because you meet new people and it's really fun to see everyone else's skill level and to form a team with a bunch of girls from different schools and just have a great season. And I don't know, I played volleyball for so long, runs in the family, so I just really enjoy playing it.
Let's talk about that. Runs in the family. What's your volleyball family heritage? Where can you also find volleyball history in your family tree?
My dad played volleyball growing up,
What's
and
it been like
definitely
having
like
that avenue of advice? You have someone that definitely played a lot of volleyball in his own right, so you can always go home to, hey dad, like let's watch the film and see what happened here. What's that been like for you?
I always watch film with my dad, and we always watch a lot of college volleyball together, and it's easy to talk to him because he understands the sport just as much as I do. But he'll be the first one to harp on me for
Mm.
something in a way, but it builds up my confidence and just makes me want to do better.
If that coaching dad dynamic, you can
Yeah.
never balance it out too much. Let's talk about role models that you have in your life, people that you can go to for inspiration. Who are your role models and why have they become so important to you?
Um, Both my parents have been my role models. I mean, seeing them just working hard and just always pushes me to do more in whatever I'm doing, whether it's school, sports, whatever. And my older brother, especially, he just graduated 2 years ago. So, and seeing him work for his sports makes me always want to work harder, and he's always there to support me.
We know how good you are on the volleyball court. If there were any sport that you don't play, that you kind of look at and you say, "Man, I might be good at that. I wish I could throw my hat into that ring." What kind of sports come to mind when I ask that?
Um, I used to play softball, but just for like a rec league. So I feel like that'd be like my best shot in being decent at it. So it'd probably be softball.
When you think of the best sport at St. John to go and support, like what's your favorite sport to go watch when you're not playing volleyball?
Um, I like watching our football team and our basketball team for sure.
Now we talked about what makes this team unique. What makes this community unique? And we know you get a lot of support from the community of St. John, and we know you're so proud to represent that school system. What makes the community of St. John unique to in your perspective?
Coming from a public school to a private school is, I mean, the number of kids is obviously really different. We're a very small school, but everyone is so involved at St. John. You get so much support from not just the kids there, but the parents, the staff. And it was just really cool seeing everyone show up for every sport, no matter the season, and it's just a lot of good energy.
I imagine with the smaller school, you get a lot more help from the teachers too. You're able
Yeah.
to get a lot more attention from them. Who are some teachers throughout your high school career so far that have really helped you out in the classroom and have really made an impact in your journey?
Um, well, our varsity assistant coach, Miss Horniman, she just left our school actually, unfortunately, but she was definitely one of the bigger teachers that made a big impact, and the football coach, Mr. Delgosh.
That's a perfect segue into the coaching staff you have
Yeah.
and how much they have meant to you. Talk about the coaching staff at St. John and what it's been like to be under them and what you've learned from them, not just as a volleyball player, but I'm sure as a person as well.
Our coaching staff is great. It's really easy. All three of our coaches, Coach Howe, Coach Martino, and Coach Horniman, it's really easy to communicate with them, especially if you see a problem first. They're very open minded and always are willing to take your advice or whatever you need to say to them. But it's really easy to be coached by them too.
As a junior, you have to start thinking about your future. It's not senior year yet, so it's not super pressure, time to think about what you want
Right.
to do with your life. But what kind of things are starting to come to mind of things you might want to do after high school when you start thinking about the future?
Don't really know what I want to do necessarily. And college ball, it's always in the picture, of course, and especially since I dedicate the whole year to volleyball practically. I'm still a little undecisive for college ball just because I'm not very tall. So, but back row, that's why I take my defense so seriously. Because if I were to go into college for volleyball, it'd definitely be as a libero or a DS. So,
All right, so you say you're not really sure what you want to do major wise. So what we'll do, we won't put you pressure on that, but we will ask you some interest. Like, what are some things that you kind of are very interested in that you wouldn't have a hard time seeing yourself try to pursue a career in this or that?
being a vet, I always wanted to be a vet when I was a kid because I love animals a lot. But very hard profession to go into. It takes a lot of years in college, but I think that'd be something that I'd be good at.
Good with animals. What pets do you have? What kind of pets do you have at home?
I have a dog.
One dog.
Yeah.
What's the we always see dogs and cats on TikTok and YouTube and funny videos. What's the craziest thing your dog does? What's one thing that could get him famous on TikTok?
I don't even know. She's really good at this trick I taught her when I was a kid, where like I just put my arms in a hoop and she jumps through it.
That's
And
awesome.
she's old right now, but the fact that she still does it just makes me laugh because I taught her it so long ago.
All right, Gabby, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to thank your support system and the people in your life that have been there for you. I want to give you as much time as you want to shine a light on them and give them a shout out.
Honestly, like being very nervous to transfer from a public school to a private school, but I did go to St. John because my brother went there, and I'm really thankful that I did. It's a great school, made a lot of great friends, and I'm super excited to finish out this season and the rest of my high school volleyball career with this team. And I really appreciate all the support from everyone at St. John, literally everyone.
All right, Gabby, we appreciate your time. We thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to watch you throughout the rest of your career and cover you as a member of a YSN family. And we can't wait to talk to you in real soon.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I appreciate it a lot.